Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm here because I was a survivor of 4 years of Naval Academy, along with many other people, Julian Finley. I was his roommate for this time. Actually, he's my brother from another mother. I have here a picture from high school that I think represents him the best. From high school, and that's how he will receive the rest of us if we're blessed enough like him. I know that the old Reverend and Mama Finley are very happy to see the little one home. Julian was different in many ways. We know that. And I'm going to read something that is actually in the program in case somebody didn't get the program. And I must say that Finley, a lot of people said, he's a misfit. And I have a very good friend who's a talk show host, Bernie Thompson. He always calls misfitness. He made that word up. And Julian embraces misfitness. But don't you think that that's how God makes us different? So special. I challenge any soul to be as special as that of Julian. He was a happy soul. Because of that, he got us in a lot of trouble too. Always smiling. Mr. Finley, stop smiling. I'm not smiling, sir. Juju Book would also take his shirt off his back for anybody. He will also acquire shoes for you, like the ones I'm wearing, which he gave me 36 years ago. I heard he had a hookup in his OROTC unit. Sometimes he will get you ice cream and milk in the middle of the night at the academy because Brother Marty McMahon and Bruce over here on my part, we needed milkshakes, and here comes Julian with the milk and ice cream. Don't ask how, because he's the thing. But anyways, I'm going to read real quickly before I do some closing words on my brother. And it's like I said in the program, it was penned by the professor, as Julian loved to call him, because he is a professor. Matt Feely, fellow boxers, they were philosophers together. But anyways, it goes like this. Crossword, Sudoku, Rubik's Cubes, puzzle rarely garner admiration and praise until they are decoded and solved. Julian Finley, our brother and friend, the Finn, was an exception. He was quirky, although enigmatic, downright puzzling. The mystery he presented was never completely decoded, never solved. His misfitness, obviously, and he embraced it. Deference to song and appreciation of time, tested, well-worn prose suggested the comforting phrase, to know him, is to love him. If you're starting to get at my age, you know that was from the Teddy Bear. Remember that? No. Yeah, okay, good. I can sing. Yet to know Julian, to really know Julian, was utterly impossible, altogether infeasible. He was far too complex, too thinking, too fluid for most mortals to comprehend completely, and so most people never knew him. And yet, we loved him. Much about Julian endeared us. Loud but barely decipherable on child calls. That's when we have to call out formation, all that kind of stuff. Actually, most of it speaking. That's why we have specialists in Finnish, so we can, translate whatever he needs. High-pitched rumbles fed by expulsion of a single breath. Lightning fast, devastating gloves in the boxing ring. Laser-focused, clear intellectual acuity. Eyes and an ever-present radiant smile that were once at both searching and knowing. He wanted to know him, but in the face of the improbable, we found solace in abandoning our ambitions and preoccupations and preconceptions just to simply love him. We loved his sense of loyalty, unrestrained optimism, his quiet wisdom, his joy for life. He was a happy soul. He danced with nurses the last week when he was certain that he had escaped the clutches of death, and when his words, he realized that he had remained on this side, the life side. We loved and prayed that he had in us his friends, family, his culture, his history, his roots, and the branches that sprung forth from them. And I can assure you unequivocally, it's all over the place. If you were not touched by Finley, well, you probably were on another planet. The steady and considerable flow of family and friends from near and far visiting him in Louisville, his daughter, son, sibling, wife, in-law, cousins, spiritual and lovely dear confidant, high school classmates, and academy company mates made for an enthusiastic, though fractional representation of his many admirers. To some visitors, including a couple of company mates Julian admired most, might have had, understandably, felt uneasy and dissatisfied after seeing and sitting in that hospital room with him for a few hours when his health was ebbed, when Julian prospects appeared to roll to the lowest springtide. Embattled by infection, he was less cognitive, and we could never accept or imagine him to be. His pupils were vapid, neither searching nor knowing. His intellect was hidden. He was unable to articulate, hardly able to gesture. The incapacity was shocking, extremely upsetting. He just didn't seem to be Julian. He and we wonder if he had crossed to the other side. Yet during our visits, after bags of antibiotics quelled the tempest of his infection, if only a few days, Julian acknowledged every past visit with detail and satisfaction and joy as he had been fully aware. He was at fighting weight, proclaimed triumphantly and alert and ready for all visitors and good wishes. He was at his most generous. He even telegraphed thanks for the visits that will occur in the days to come, as if precise was part of his realm. He was thankful and admiring of every visitor, past, present, and future. And in his generosity, he thanked those who could not visit, for he presumed they had lent him their thoughts and maybe even a few prayers. He reveled in that idea. He was, after all, the eternal optimist. And yet it seems that that optimism was well-founded. The visits and presumed prayers spoke to him, and he felt them. I can assure you that. Julian knew that he was loved, and that that great Jesus friend of his was his Lord and Savior. We agreed that that demonstrated love on earth might be analogous to heaven. If not heaven itself demonstrated love, we reckon might be the launch. Remember, he was a Marine, Semper Fi. The amphibious ship, the Gator freighter, that brings the wanderer, that Marine, the traveler that is seeking truth, knowledge, and light across the river